All right, let's look at, this is Chapter 5, Worksheet 2F, and we'll do problem number 1. So we'll talk about this one in class, but this is where Wolver tires last an average of 45,000 miles with a population standard deviation of 4,800 miles. What proportion of the tires will last less than 35,000 miles? So we're going to start by drawing a bell curve. So this is always step 1. And we're going to label it with the mean and the standard deviation. Remember, the mean is 45,000 miles. That goes right in the middle, and that's mu, what we call mu in the Greek letter. And the standard deviation is 4,800 miles. That's this distance here. So this is 4,800 miles. And that's sigma, which is a little 6 on its side, so that's sigma. And we want to know, so this is the mean in the middle, and sigma, the standard deviation, is how spread out the mean, the distribution is, how wide the bell curve is. Okay, so it's from the mean to this point right here. And then we want to know what percentage of tires, or what proportion of tires, last less than 35,000 miles. So 35,000 is going to be over here someplace. Okay. And less than that is going to be below it, so from here down. So we want the area, because remember, area is the same as percentage, is the same as proportion. So we want the area under the normal curve between 35,000 and all the way to the left. So that goes to negative infinity, and we want to know what that area is that goes this way from 35,000. So we draw the picture, we show, okay, this is the area we want to find. So this area here is going to equal the proportion, and that's also going to equal the percentage of tires that are in that last less than 35,000, and that's also going to equal the probability that we find one tire. You know, if we have one tire, the probability that it'll last less than 35,000 is going to equal this area. So we want to find that area to the left of 35,000 on our bell curve. The way we do that is so this is step 1, draw the picture. Step 2 is going to be use the Z formula. So the Z formula from the back of your formula sheet is x minus mu divided by sigma. X is going to be 35,000 miles. This is the x-axis, remember. The side-to-side axis is the x-axis, and that's 35,000 miles on that x-axis. Mu is going to be the number in the middle. That's this number here. And then, of course, the standard deviation comes from is sigma, that goes underneath, that goes on the bottom. So it's going to be 35,000 minus 45,000 divided by 4,800, and that's going to equal Z. Remember, when you do the top, you want to subtract them and then push enter and then divide by 4,800. So I'll do that on my calculator. And you can do it all in one step, or you could do it 2 separate steps. Maybe I'll do it all in one step here. So I'll do parentheses 35,000 minus 45,000, close parentheses, and then divided by 4,800. Okay? And then we push equals, and we get negative 2.08. So this equals negative 2.08. And remember, you always round Z to 2 digits after the decimal point. So it's actually 2.083333. We just get rid of the 3333, and we write it as 2.08. And it is negative. So that is what Z is, and you fill that in on your paper. So you're going to tell me Z equals negative 2.08. Okay, you always have to do that. And then, because Z is negative, it's below average. So circle the below part of this. So you're telling me you know Z is below average because it's over here on the left part of the bell curve, okay? So that's below average. Above average is over on the right, below average is on the left, always, always. Okay, so once we have Z, then we're gonna go to the Z table. Once you get Z, you're gonna go to the Z table. So I'll say that over and over and over again. You find Z, go to the Z table, okay? So we have a Z of negative 2.08, and you wanna go to the negative side of the Z table, and we're gonna look down this negative side until we get to negative 2.0. So right here is negative 2.0. So we're going to look across the negative 2.0 row. And then where does the 0.08 come from? Well, that comes from across the top of the Z table. So here's the 0.08. That's the last part of the 3 digits. So the left-hand column here is the first part of the 3 digits. And then across the top is the last part of the 3 digits. So the first 2 digits are here, negative 2.0. And then we go across the top till we get to the 0.08 column, and then we go down the 0.08 column, and our answer is right here. And it's 0.0188. And notice it says these numbers in here are the areas to the left of Z. So we're looking for the area to the left of Z. So this number right here tells us what it is. So this Z has an area to the left is going to equal 0.0188. 0.0188. All right? And that's the area to the left of this Z, so that's right here, 0.0188. And that is because we're looking for that area to the left of our Z, which corresponds to our X of 35,000 miles, right? So this formula here takes the X and it makes it into a Z. We look in the Z table and that tells us the area that's to its left. So the left of 35,000 is this 0.0188. So that's the proportion. The percentage would equal, you move the decimal place 2 places to get the percentage, so 0.0188. I'm going to move the decimal place over 1, 2, so it's going to be right here, 1.88%. So about 2% of tires, 1.88 is about 2% of the tires will last 35,000 miles or less, all right? So that's our answer to the first part of the question. It says, what proportion of tires last less than 35,000 miles? Well, that would be proportion is the decimal way to write a percent, so 0.0188. If you want to write 1.88%, that's okay with me too. Make sure you put the percentage at the end though. So don't write 1.88 unless you write a percent after it. Okay, so that's the first part. And then it says, to what percentile would 35,000 miles correspond? So percentile is the score with that percent below it. Okay? So the percentile is and you round it to 2 digits, so you round percentile to 2 digits. So it's saying, what percentage of cars will last, or tires will last less than 35,000. So we take our 1.88% and we say, well, the area to the left then is going to be about 2%. So this is about 2%. And you have to remember percentile is always to the left. So you just have to remember that. You can write on your formula sheet, but you got to remember. So that means this is going to be the second percentile, and the way we write that is with a big P and then a 0.02 below it. All right? So that's the last question. What percentile would 35,000 mile tires correspond to? They would be in the second percentile, which we'll write P02. So this is second percentile. okay? So that is problem number 1 on worksheet, chapter 5, worksheet 2F, problem number 1. So the answers here, this would be the percentage is going to be 0.0188, not the percentage, the proportion. So this is a proportion. And the percentile is going to be P02. And that means the second percentile. So P, capital P with a O2 is a subscript. You have to write 2 digits there. Means the second percentile. All right, very good. I hope that helps you.